The Power of Discipline by Daniel Walter explores how self-discipline is the essential key to achieving success, happiness, and long-term fulfillment. Walter argues that while talent and intelligence help, it's consistent self-discipline, doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it, that ultimately shapes success. The book emphasizes that anyone can develop discipline through small, daily habits and mindset shifts. It blends psychology, neuroscience, and practical advice to help readers overcome procrastination, build habits, and stay committed to their goals. 1. Self-discipline is a skill, not a trait. Many believe discipline is something you're born with, but Walter stresses it's a learned skill. Like playing the piano or learning a language, discipline improves with practice. For example, someone who struggles with waking up early can train their body to rise at 6 a.m. by gradually setting the alarm earlier each day, instead of expecting sudden perfection. 2. The role of dopamine in discipline. Dopamine is the brain chemical responsible for pleasure and motivation. Our brains crave instant rewards, which often leads to procrastination and distraction. Walter explains that by delaying gratification and choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures, you can train your brain to crave discipline itself. For example, instead of scrolling on social media, instant dopamine, focus on writing a book chapter. Over time, completing meaningful work becomes more satisfying than distractions. 3. The 40% rule. Borrowed from Navy SEALs, this rule states that when you feel like giving up, you're only at 40% of your potential. Walter uses this to illustrate that our limits are mostly mental. For instance, if you're jogging and feel exhausted after 20 minutes, you're likely capable of going for 30 or even 40 minutes. Pushing past that comfort zone builds mental resilience. 4. The power of habits. Discipline is not about huge, heroic efforts, but small, repeated actions. Walter recommends building routines that reduce decision fatigue. For example, if you want to eat healthier, prepare meals in advance so you're not tempted by junk food when you're tired. When discipline becomes a habit, it runs on autopilot. 5. The importance of clear goals. People with vague goals often lack motivation. Walter emphasizes the need for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART goals. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be fit," say, "I want to lose 10 pounds in 2 months by exercising 30 minutes a day and cutting sugar." Clear goals give direction and increase discipline. 6. Eliminate temptation from your environment. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower. It's also about setting yourself up for success. If you want to quit sugar, don't keep cookies in the house. If you want to study, turn off notifications or use apps that block distractions. Changing your environment makes discipline easier and removes friction. 7. Use the pain versus pleasure principle. Walter explains that people are driven by two forces: avoiding pain or gaining pleasure. You can use this to your advantage by linking bad habits with pain and good habits with pleasure. For instance, if you procrastinate on assignments, visualize the stress and consequences of failing. Then imagine the relief and pride of finishing early. This mental shift motivates action. 8. Discipline equals freedom. Though it sounds paradoxical, Walter argues that discipline leads to more freedom, not less. When you're disciplined with your time, health, and finances, you gain control and reduce chaos. For example, budgeting money may feel restrictive, but it prevents debt and enables freedom to travel or invest later. 9. Visualization and affirmations. Mental training can improve self-discipline. Visualizing success helps condition the mind for achievement, while positive affirmations reinforce belief in your abilities. For instance, if you're nervous about a presentation, picture yourself confidently speaking and receiving applause. This practice makes the task feel more achievable and boosts follow-through. 10. Accountability increases discipline. When others are watching, you're more likely to follow through. Walter suggests finding an accountability partner or joining a group with similar goals. For example, if you're trying to write a novel, share your progress weekly with a friend or coach. The fear of disappointing others can push you to stay consistent. 11. Forgive yourself, but don't excuse yourself. Everyone slips up. Walter stresses the importance of being kind to yourself when you fail, but also holding yourself accountable. Don't let one mistake turn into a downward spiral. For example, if you skip a workout, don't say, "I ruined everything." Instead, acknowledge it and commit to doing better tomorrow. 12. Delay gratification. One of the core traits of highly disciplined people is their ability to delay short-term pleasure for long-term reward. Walter references the famous marshmallow experiment with children. Those who waited for a bigger reward often did better in life. For example, instead of buying a luxury item now, save that money and invest it so it grows into something greater later. 13. Track progress and celebrate wins. Monitoring your behavior builds awareness and motivation. Walter recommends journaling or using habit trackers. For example, checking off exercise on a calendar each day gives you a sense of accomplishment and encourages momentum. Celebrating small wins keeps motivation high. 14. Start small and build up. Trying to overhaul your entire life at once often leads to burnout. Walter advises starting with small, manageable actions. For example, if you want to build a reading habit, begin with 5 minutes a day instead of forcing yourself to read for an hour. As it becomes easier, you can naturally increase the time. 15. The power of saying no. Every yes to distraction is a no to your goals. Discipline means learning to prioritize and protect your time. Walter encourages readers to stop people-pleasing and practice boundaries. For example, if friends invite you out but you've planned to work on a project, respectfully decline and stay focused. Overall, the power of discipline teaches that success isn't about magic or motivation. It's about doing what you must, consistently, even when you don't feel like it. The good news is that discipline is a muscle, and with practice, anyone can strengthen it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more video like this.